I'm so excited, Deb.
Well, Woohoo! Is he pointing to me?
Yep, you're go.
Oh, okay. We want to welcome everybody to the IMU Board of Trustees of the Electric, Water, and Communication Utilities for December 16th. And public comment.
Roll call.
Oh, roll call, yeah.
We're starting off well.
That's our last meeting.
I can make as many mistakes as I need to.
Selgrave,
Present.
White,
Present.
Smith,
Yes.
Rosga,
Yes.
Hoyt.
Okay, we'll move on to the consent agenda.
Public
Public
comment.
comment, Deb.
Oh, public comment? Yeah, I guess
We
we
should
should do that too.
Nobody's here, you're good.
No one to speak.
He's shaking his head at me. Okay, seeing no one, unless, would you like to say something, Doug?
Oh.
Okay. Then we'll move on to the consent agenda, which involves approval of claims, approval of minutes of the prior meetings, approval of October financial report. First and, oh, that's one messed up.
So move.
Second.
We'll help you out.
Rosga.
I'm still thinking about the other thing.
Second.
Okay, first of all, any questions or anything on the approval of claims? Approval of minutes? October financial report.
Yeah, really, nothing special. I think the only thing I noticed was, as you all well know, it's for the 4 months ended October 31st, and the budget numbers have been updated for the audit on June 30th of 24. The only thing that I noticed is maybe a little bit unusual, under electric sales, we're at 42%. And I know it has nothing to do with, I wouldn't think with, it's kind of been a mild winter, and I know it's not gas, but I just thought that was an unusual. It's great.
For now. Yeah, we start building, the first month is the summer months that tend to be our peak, and then it slows down there on out.
Anyway.
Good observation.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions for Doug? No? Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, let's see, who's doing?
You got the roll call.
I am. I'm seeing which one of them are doing.
Me today.
Okay, Chelsea.
White.
Roll call.
White,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Rosga,
Yes.
Hoyt,
Absent.
Selgrave.
Yes.
Okay, now I'm gonna move up, Don has another engagement he has to attend, so I'm gonna move appointment of chair, under other business, appoint chair and vice chair for 2025. So, I will open the floor.
For nominees, or what are you opening?
Yeah, for nominees, or anyone that would like to volunteer, that really wants to do it.
Selgrave as chair.
I think you have to second. I'll second that. And I'll nominate Lori Smith as vice chair. Aren't you supposed to be?
No,
I think it's
no.
Adam. Oh, Adam's supposed to be?
I spoke with Adam last night, and he.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
All right.
And he has agreed
I'll
to.
rescind that, and I will nominate Adam.
And I would second that.
Okay.
So
What do you
we
guys
need to
have?
vote.
Oh, yes. Well, do we have to vote
Yep.
for this?
Yeah, if you want to go through the roll
Okay,
call.
Chelsea?
Smith,
Yes.
Rosga,
Yes.
Selgrave,
Yes.
White.
Yes. Okay, congratulations.
Yay.
Okay, now we will move on to electric utility action items. And I need a first and second motion to consider discussion of the electric transmission and distribution inspection and maintenance plan.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Mike, do you want to take
Yep, so
that?
this will actually be a resolution for this. This was the, our plan that we put forth to say what we're gonna do for inspection purposes for our transmission, overhead, underground vegetation. It's nothing new. This is the third one I think I've submitted to the, used to be IUB, it's now the IUC. Nothing really changed. It's just, it was time. Oh, Utilities Commission now. So that was one of the changes we made. The program had to change everything from a B to a C in there. So.
Yeah, it's the 10-year plan. It's also something that we discussed in April. You guys approved that submission, again, showing our reliability. This is one of the core instruments we use to ensure a reliable distribution system. Making sure everything's maintained and inspected. And it is it's a 10-year cycle, so it's very similar to one you've seen last year or previously, updated for the new 10-year cycle. So we're still accomplishing the same sections of town per year, and none of those items are changing significantly, just new deadlines and due dates.
Is this plan similar to other communities that are about our size with our electric? Or
They all do, so you have to do so much of an area. Our transmission has to be inspected once a year, and then our distribution overhead system and our underground we inspect it 10% of it a year, and our vegetation, we do 20% of it a year. So that's what most
So it's a
other
pretty
utilities
standard
do.
kind of
Pretty
outline.
standard.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, Chelsea?
Roscoe,
Yes.
Selgrave,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Okay, I need a first and second motion to consider resolution approving a marketing agent agreement between Indianola Municipal Utilities and the Municipal Energy of Nebraska, MEAN.
So move. Second.
Okay, Chelsea?
Smith,
Yes.
Roscoe,
Yes.
Selgrave,
Yes.
White,
Yes. Okay, moving on to electric utility informational items. Mike?
So I'm gonna first give kudos to the crews the last 2 weeks with the weather out dealing. It's just been brutal cold out there, and we're trying to get things done while we can. So otherwise it's just gonna pile up next spring. But anyway, so you have the downtown square. We've all got all the underground conduits in for the year off the northwest quarter. And all the concrete poured back in those areas, so now we're ready to pull in wire, and then we'll be bringing back a contract, hopefully here in the next couple of months, to do the electrician work in those areas as well. New developments, we're trying to get those wrapped up and going to, believe it or not, they're still talking, they're gonna be putting basements in those areas that we're going into. Then the big deal with Turbine 8, so tomorrow we'll have Earthworks will be here. We'll have one more last test run on the emissions.
Remind us who Earthworks is.
They do the emission testing. Yep. So they'll be here. They've got part of their equipment here. They dropped off last week. But yeah, we'll verify that everything's within compliance, and then we'll roll right into the official test on Wednesday. That's going to be a very long day of runs. Depends how things go. We'd like to get everything done on Wednesday. Probably go into the evening a little bit. If not, we may have to push the rest of the testing into Thursday to wrap up the rest of the testing on that. So, fingers
Can
crossed.
somebody put that on Facebook?
It's on Facebook.
It is already,
Yep.
okay.
Yep, it's posted. So, other than that, like I say, we're just still busy trying to get the rest of our other outside projects wrapped up here before we get shut out for the winter.
So as far as pulling conduit, we're on schedule. We got done what we needed to get done.
Yeah, I think so for this year. I thought we, this is the first year that whatever we tore back, we had to put back. Weren't able to just take off and somebody else poured the concrete behind us. So we ended up doing that all with our own staff. We looked at trying to get some others, but trying to coordinate, to have somebody else come in like the next day, there was just too much time frame. We tried to really shrink that up so we weren't affecting those businesses any longer than we had to. So yeah, I feel like we're in a good spot.
Okay. Moving on to water utility action items. First and second motion to consider water donation request for the Veterans Memorial Building Commission.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Justin, do you wanna take this, or do you wanna take it?
Yep, I'll take that. This is, in your packet is a letter requesting the 1.5 million gallons, or up to 1.5 million gallons of water donated for the Veterans Memorial Building Commission. This is similar to what we've done in previous years. Like last year, they did do quite a bit in the way of improvements. Their usage the prior year was well in excess of that 1.5 million. Last year, it dropped down to just a little under 1.4 million. So we do feel good about them taking good value in this contribution. If they do end up, now this is for next year, it's not for the previous year. What you are approving is for that next calendar year of water they haven't used yet. And
They'll use that credit, or whatever, however you wanna call it.
Yeah,
They'll use that first before it starts on the fresh.
No, they pay throughout the process. So what will happen, should you guys agree to this, is they will pay in the normal course of business throughout the end of the year. And when they close the pool, we'll take a look at everything. Here's what you used, here what it did. And then we will cut them back a donation check for those bills that they already pay. So it is all, it's an after the fact donation. They pay for the usage as they use it. And then we give them back up to 1.5 million gallons at the end of the season.
And that's different than what we did last year?
No, that's what we've always done. I think
That's
last year there was a little confusion about what, you know.
And I remember that as well, yeah. But,
Yeah, so it's a backwards donation.
Yeah, I
It's
get
just,
it. Yeah.
They want to know going into their budget season, if they can expect, what they can expect as far as that contribution. It is worth up to $12,000 at our current rates.
Is that factored like an in-kind donation? I mean, does it give us a tax break at all?
We don't pay taxes, so there's not really a tax break.
True.
But we do, we just hand back some money, and of course, we are able to do so because they are the city government and are a qualified charitable organization.
Chelsea?
Rosga,
Yes.
Silver,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Okay, I need first and second motion to consider authorization for Warren Water District to serve a customer within their territory upon proper notice to IMU, since the customer is within 2 miles of the IMU territory, located at 9596 Highway 92.
So move. Second.
Okay, Justin?
I
Anything?
don't have anything on that.
Any questions?
I even knew where this one was. I could tell it.
I could tell where it was at. Okay, Chelsea?
Okay, White,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Rosga,
Yes.
Silver.
Yes.
Okay, on to water utility informational items. Justin?
Yeah, I don't have a whole lot. Crew's been busy working with the last two developments going in, the Kentucky Ridge and the Emerald Bay. Just doing testing and tie-ins for the new water lines. Hopefully by the end of this week we'll have Emerald Bay all buttoned up and then be turned over to them. Other than that, we're just annual pump maintenance. We'll be taking down tanks here probably the next couple of weeks, start our annual tank cleaning, and then continue to swap out water meters and winter work.
I heard you had an interesting event at the fairgrounds with the historical center.
Yes.
What happened?
It was, the fairgrounds actually had a water leak and
In their property.
on their property, yeah, so it was
Wasn't
all the fairgrounds, yeah. And in the meantime with that, they didn't know that their sewer was backed up, so it was going down the floor drain, which then flooded the historical center. So we were able to slow it down until they got the sewer fixed, and then they hired Damon Moffett to come fix a valve so we could shut it completely off. So right now the fairgrounds is without water. Fire department knows that the hydrants in there.
But they always shut down over the winter, it sounds like, the water.
They winterize the buildings, but there's a main line that goes through the fairgrounds, and they keep that on all times because that keeps the hydrants
Gotcha.
in operation.
Was any of that caused because of the construction on the highway there? Or is that just, they just hit a bad blockage and?
To the sewer point of it, I'm not for sure what came out of that, but
This is interesting, all that work was done kind of in that area and then.
yeah, I don't think so because I think the blockage was actually in the fairgrounds itself. So.
Gotcha.
Okay. Communications, utility, informational items.
Yep, I don't have a lot either yet. We're just trying to decide if it's gonna freeze up or stay thawed out, but did get frozen out last week. Alberto tried and he wasn't able to get drops in, but I'm hopeful he can maybe get back in later this week and get a few more in. We are tipping them on the ground right now, but the more we can get in before spring, always the better, so. But other than that, yeah, we made final changes to the system last week and we just kind of hunker down for a couple weeks through the holidays, so we won't change anything. Everything's nice and stable, and hopefully it stays that way. So.
Okay.
Kurt, are we getting any feedback from people as far as the new boxes and the new service and the Wi-Fi 6 and all that kind of stuff? I guess I'm just curious how.
We've had plenty of upgrades. I was actually putting numbers together last week. I don't have that report done, but I'll have a report for you after the first of the year that kind of shows where we're at with upgrades and stuff like that. But yeah, we've had quite a few people upgrade from the old system, and certainly haven't had anybody complain about it. It is definitely a better box, better Wi-Fi signal strength and stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah, I think to Kurt's point, yeah, I've had a lot of good feedback. People that needed mesh extenders and not the new radios and the noise kind of the way the Wi-Fi 6 handles noise and other static environments is much better to where people that had needed Wi-Fi extenders in the past are getting away with just the box. Yeah.
Yeah, we put in very few extenders with the new boxes, and even in our house here off of B Street, 1947. So it's the old plaster last stuff. We had to use an extender before. We went to the Gigaspire, and we don't need that anymore. So it's just much better signal strength on it, so, yeah.
I was just curious, thanks.
Okay. On to the combined electric, water, and communications informational items. Chris?
All right, the action items, the 10A.
UMS
Oh,
action items.
consider
Discussion
approval.
direction. Capital budget.
Oh, the budget. Discussion and direction on the fiscal year 2026 capital budget.
So yeah, I'll kind of get us started. There's no votes on this, but if you guys do have any feedback or hear anything you have any questions about, we'll kind of take them as they go. Overall, I think I'm very happy with the capital budget and where we're at in the process. This year we did work, we have met with the city staff, so particularly with Justin's. I think we're right now at this point about as coordinated as we can be until they make their official decisions. Each one of the utilities has a little different take on, the thought process behind it. On the electric side, I think there are some little tweaks, but this is generally what we expected to accomplish last year at this time for this time. Couple vehicles moved around, just reprioritization. But as you'll recall, last year we really did focus on a even flat 5-year program. This continues that. There are small increases or decreases just because of what we're accomplishing. But generally, we're trying to set those level set and not increase or decrease any rate pressure. So again, that this capital budget does accomplish that in and of itself. One of our core functions isn't going to significantly put any rate pressure on there. I think that is a great, accomplishment. Now, certainly with wholesale and anything else, that really remains to be seen. But the, mindfulness that I think Mike has worked with this in the past, it didn't change a whole lot, and it is pretty consistent for that 5-year program. Those are the two highlights that I think out of there. Water is a little different. As you look at this year, or the current year that we're in, that re-estimated column, that's gonna be a little higher and even higher than the prior year has been. And that's really due to that one project, that generator project that we'll be accomplishing this year. If not for that, or kind of how we approached it previously, we split that 800,000, 400 over 400, and it created a nice increasing capital improvement plan that really is needed to take care of a lot of those preventative maintenance and those maintenance-related programs. There's not a big spike in any one of those. Again, taking accommodation for that large generator. Everything else is pretty smooth and consistent. There is an increase. We don't know what exactly that'll mean as far as rates until we get a little further down the line. But in the prior year, it didn't inordinately burden anything, and it did create an increasing path to accomplish more year over year. Fiber is, again, kind of the third look at all of those. And it really is focused around, incremental technology improvements. We have lots of our, the new Wi-Fi 6 boxes. Those are kind of programmed out as we retire the old ones. They're a little more consistent, and then of course with that, those retirements and replacement with the newer technology, there's other operating infrastructure that goes behind that, and those are all scheduled out to get the path forward. We have, on the horizon, AVR or ABR, the adjustable variable bit rate stuff for TV and those boxes.
What's that?
I'll kind of turn it over to Kurt and just teeing you up here on the, but it's instead of right now we have individual streams for the whole block of all the channels come down all at once, and we kind of distribute them out. The AVRs will really allow adjustable speeds and accuracies where you won't have any more, or should improve its ability to have skips and misses where you might see some blocking or tiling when things are loaded up. This is a little more friendly to variable conditions. Kurt, you want to fix what I just said?
Pretty much, yeah. It really turns it into more of a streaming type service. So for the end consumer, it won't look any different. Their TV set-top box will act the exact same way. It's just the way the packets are downloaded. Right now, it's a multicast signal where it just comes down all at once. If something gets missed, you see a glitch on the TV. In a streaming scenario, you'll have more of an opportunity to request that pack again, reload it. So it should be a smoother transition. So this is something that CFU, Pella, Waverly have all moved to, and we're next in the list.
And our cost on that would be what?
Yeah, they're really, it's been factored in over the past couple of years with IPTV upgrade stuff, so it's been budgeted for. The only thing we really had to buy was, which we just bought here a couple months ago, was the content node, delivery node that we'll have here at the
So I'm not asking if it's budgeted, I'm asking what the cost is to change this technology.
Yeah, I'd have to go back and get you a total
Okay.
number. I don't have it off the top of my head, so. But, yeah.
I'm just kind of curious, because as we had discussion on some stuff, and I, just looking at stuff down the road, how much we really want to continue to spend on that TV side of things, not knowing for sure where that market's going to go.
I think we do have some comments in our closed session, more business related, and timing on that that'll line up nicely for our closed session.
Okay, and I have one last question concerning the water. So you were talking about that generator, and I know that's an expensive son of a gun. So that's the reason why the water mains are only $200,000. Did we cut some back from that in order to help compensate for that?
We, you guys approved it here a month or so ago. We prioritized took the dollars for the mains to redo our filters at the plant.
Oh, the filters, okay.
The filters at the plant, yep. So that's where that 400,000 came from.
Okay,
And then the 50,000 is for the city project that will be next fiscal year or next calendar year, and then the 150,000 for that east third is if things go planned. I have that project. It's being engineered as we speak, so if things are looking good, we can get that out for bid and do that project.
thank you.
Mike, do you want to touch on any highlights you have for the electric?
Yeah, I mean, some of that, like Chris said, we mentioned it, that we've kind of, nothing's really changed, but we've added in there, you've already approved for the circuit breakers out at East Iowa. We talked because we had that failure. We've added that into the budget this year, so it's things like that. Those are kind of the main highlight on what really changed per se. Maybe the turbine painting, I know we've had that as a lump sum, but we have determined we're gonna try and do a little bit of that in-house and just take it over time to try and paint that turbine, just because some of the expenses we've had on that turbine here in the last 2 years been significant, and so we just don't wanna say we're gonna spend $100,000 or $150,000, whatever it's gonna take to paint that turbine if we do it in-house and do it in phases. That's probably what we're gonna try to do.
I'll just make a quick comment on Mike's too. Like in his capital budget under light construction, we're capitalizing some labor for installation. Now that we've got the boring rigs, we're capitalizing some of that labor. That's not additional labor, so it's reducing the O&M budget, and we're putting it in the capital budget. And so in total, it's going to be the same. Yeah.
I think that's great how you guys are bringing a lot of stuff in-house, a lot of good opportunity and savings there for everyone in general and the future use, so.
Yeah, it is. It just comes down to manpower.
It does. We, needless to say, we don't have to sit around wondering what we're gonna do.
Good to know.
Yeah, we do not.
All right, I gotta take off.
Hey, Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Okay, we could go on to consider approval of utility accounts to be written off and to use any customary collection method, including submission to the state offset program, and to charge any applicable collection fees. Alicia, Chris?
And they continue to be very good, so
Yeah.
that's a nice job there.
Yeah, for a number of reasons. They maintain their low staff. They're really decreased over COVID, and with the addition of fiber, that really kind of gives everyone a little extra motivation or notice that they're going to have something on the electric side, and it has improved our collections tremendously. So.
Okay, we'll move on to combined electric, water, and communications informational items. We need to approve.
We need to
that
approve
write-off.
those? Yeah.
This
Can you
consider
approve the
approval of
write-offs?
utility
Yeah.
accounts.
Simple motion. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Combined electric, water, and communications informational items.
All right, in addition to the email I sent you guys last week, that's kind of the core stuff we're working on across the board. We are meeting with Wade Wagner, who this Thursday is going to be, he's on the agenda to be the interim city manager. He is meeting with us over our joint services meeting later this week. I also have a mean finance committee meeting tomorrow afternoon. In general, means doing well. We talked about last month, I think, how They started out in a hole and had really kind of clawed back to a more normal or average budget-related status. That's continued and actually improved. They are significantly ahead of budget now. Sales were good, expenses were low. They're now $1 million ahead of budget, and just for quantification purposes, I guess, we are about 11% of that, so just a little over. It'd be the same if we were $100,000 to the good in our electric operations. Just, nothing to get too excited about, but that is seeing this path going forward is promising for, we're entering the mean budget timeframe as well. So at the time they're doing a little better than they expected. I think that does offer a little opportunity to maybe not have to be so aggressive with any wholesale rate increases, which of course wholesale rate increases, if we forego those or they're smaller than they're expected, will mean nothing but good things for our ratepayers.
Any updates on the solar installation?
We don't have anything moved down. I think the construction management team has been delayed. We probably won't get anything moved or done until the first of the year.
Okay. I need a first and second motion to enter into closed session in accordance with the Iowa Code Section 388.91 to discuss marketing and pricing strategies and proprietary information of the telecommunications division whose competitive position will be harmed by public disclosure that is not required of potential or actual competitors, and no public purpose is served by such disclosure. Chelsea?
Second.
Okay.
We need to do roll call.
Yep, I was recommending. Rosga,
Yes.
Belgrade, just kidding, he's done. White,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Merry Christmas.
Thanks, guys. Merry Christmas.
Everybody have a good